afternoon, everyone. And I know it's after lunch listening to speakers and learning is always a little diminishing. But I thought I'll make it the best for you all. Sorry. So I just wanted to share a couple of things after being more than 2 decades in the industry. I think everyone knows what are the latest trends and practices happening within the industry. You've seen the earlier speakers speaking about AI, machine learning, so much of data. I think all that is taking over all our lives day in and day out. And it's the same with IT industry and the BPO industry. So how many of y'all in this room use ChatGPT? Awesome, I see some 25, 30% or 50% of y'all. I think that's overtaking our lives. So I'm sure all of you all know within the IT and ITES industry, some of the facts, clearly we are growing at a compounded rate of growth of 24%. And we contribute to almost 5.6% of the country's GDP. Direct employment, it's more than 5 million. And the indirect employment, which this industry gives, is close to 12 million. Clearly, in this industry, it's broken up to IT services. So you see all the software, testing, full stack engineering, development all happens. So there's engineering services, there's BPO or ITES. And ITES, BPO is no more a call center. If you know that life sciences BPO is valued at 335 billion, that's the amount of work which is coming into India in various organizations. So if you look at the revenue from IT services constitute 50%, but ITES industry, the BPO, which has grown the last 5 years, much more than the IT industry. And I'll give you a few examples. We keep hiring a lot of anthropologists. The industry identifies and looks at different human behavior and works with the clients, be it in healthcare, be it in the life sciences space, or in the financial services space to actually look at transformation and building new products. That's the kind of work which happens from India. And yes, you all might know, scribing is a big industry which is moving to India, and all of us are working through the doctor-patient. Conversations are recorded by an AI machine which comes to India, and the doctors and nurses actually look at how this industry is evolving. Very interesting work. And most of the surgeons, if at all they are surgeons, they use the AI machines to help them, or even the ChatGPT. There are annotations which actually the BPO industry works out of India. So very interesting work, and there's no more just somebody taking calls, where we hire a niche segment from investment bankers to healthcare professionals to the pharma segment of life sciences industry. So if you look at, as I mentioned, technology is overtaking all of us, and the 3 important technologies are artificial intelligence, machine learning, and edge computing. I think if you want, edge computing is nothing but if you want to connect all the machines. Patient experience, user experience becomes very core. So for us, it's all about the employee experience. For you, it's all about the patient experience, where the user in the middle should not know what's happening. And that's really catching pace in most of our industries. If you look at, there's almost 1 billion people who have to be reskilled. All of us have downloaded ChatGPT, I think 6 months back. We are learning. AI is taking over our lives, but it's not taking over our jobs. I don't think organizations can survive without people and without the human-centric approach. And that's what we've been telling all our employees. Nowadays, talent, I think it's again in all industries, and in IT industry, which I've worked the last 2.5 decades, they are looking for partnership. They're looking for a value with purpose. And they're actually looking at wellness and agility. So when I say agility, I think we as an industry, we've looked at the agile frameworks. How fast we can get to the customer, how fast we can get to our industry, how can we look at agile frameworks. So, you know, we've created something like pod-based culture, where everybody comes in from different industries, the IT, the BPO, and the testing, everyone, they work together on building a solution for the client, which actually the user benefits much more. So that's a pod-based culture. But what are organizations grappling with? If you look at organizations are grappling with well-being, the retirement age is increasing. If you look at the workforce needs to be really diverse, and you can look at the quiet quitting. Nobody wants to work more than 9 hours, especially the multi-generation workforce. I think most of us in this room are pretty mid-management above level, but the next generation workforce is not looking at doing work more than the 9 hours. So that's what is quiet quitting, and that's what is evolving in this industry. And that's a little bit more about what are they looking for. They're looking for lifestyle choices. They're not looking for, a pay and a benefit and then move forward. Yes, so some of the practices, I think, personalized learning is becoming very critical. So what are we doing to our talent? We are looking at developing employees day in and day out. That's going to be our biggest challenge and how we are going to take forward that industry. HR analytics and future of work is changing. So I think all of you all know the workplace and the workforce is changing. So I went to recently Deloitte University. If you look at Deloitte University, the experience one has is like immense. You must go to YouTube and check out Bloomberg in London. The kind of experience Bloomberg has is like amazing when you get to that office. I think the workplace which I'm talking about, the work itself, where we are working with AI and machines is changing, and the workforce. I think all of us know there is a lot of mix of talent and what kind of people are required. So I think with all this, yeah, I have 2 minutes, I'll just be quick. What do we need to do? We need to ensure the right skills in a fast pace. There's a lot of decrease in demand. So what do we need to do if we want to decrease the demand? We need to ensure that we are redesigning our jobs, having automation, looking at very simplification. I think somebody spoke about Six Sigma, quality. How do we bring it together? So that's how the businesses are working. And we're also looking at how do we increase supply. I think talent shortages are across the industry. So we are finding new models of actually hiring and attracting talent. So we are embedding our curriculum much in advance, where the final year graduates can actually work with this curriculum, and we are able to get them production ready much faster than before. So there are a lot of new models which organizations are taking up to hire talent, improve the skilling, and just wanted to click on a YouTube link, but I thought this was interesting. Maybe if we can have the console team just click on the link and just stop at 2 minutes because I just have 2 minutes. I'm just pausing it for paucity of time, but I'll give the presentation. I think you must see that. If you can go back to the presentation. Can it be on slideshow? Yeah. So I just wanted to show that future of work absolutely is changing. Drones are taking over us. the whole supply chain system industry is changing, and so is the talent mix changing. But what does the future of talent looks like? There's a very fundamental shift in the industry. I think all of you all do believe in it. So people in the 20th century used to really say, there's pay, there are benefits, do I have insurance? And it's a loyalty which works. But if you look at current or in the recent past, it's all about the psychological needs, which an employee really wants us to fulfill for them. If we provide enriched jobs and engage them, I think that's where employees are much more. Instead, a futuristic approach is all about lifestyle experience. So LX is going to be the new mantra, right? So if you look at the future generation, the next 10 years, they will look at lifestyle experiences, choices. They want personalized development opportunities. It's all about Netflix, Swiggy, Uber, anything you use, it has to be at that moment. So the generation is moving, and we are actually working with that generation to be able to change our policies, look at our workforce, and create that experience for the employees. So I do have a small short video. If we have time, it's 1 minute. If we don't have time, I can pause. Okay, but this is very important on how HR actually is working from a flux, which is so ambiguous. And when I say HR, it's more about strategic HR. HR is all of us in this room, as businesses, as leaders, as doctors. Let's establish our own flow. I think there's no secret formula, and always it is a pleasure to work in an ambiguous environment with lots of challenges, and that's what we do within the IT industry, with every day new complexities, new challenges. And especially the talent and the people are the fundamental, especially in the IT industry in India. And I think that's where we are all grappling with. And it's a pleasure talking with all of you all. There is a lot to be discussed when it comes to talent, when it comes to industry, the new models, what we are working on. Happy to answer any questions if we have some time. Okay,
thank you, Ms. Pratyusha. Thanks for the excellent presentation. And probably we'll have a couple of questions later. But I must tell you that you touched upon some of the points which are even very pertinent today in the healthcare industry. To begin with, in 90s end and beginning of 20th century, globally, we are very proud of IT at that time, and IT has India got represented through IT for the rest of the world. And probably the days are coming when healthcare will be doing the same thing. But I was quite stunned to see your first YouTube video where I saw everything was happening without a human being. I thought whether that is possible in healthcare, but your second video gave the answer that we have to develop and reshape ourselves. Couple of points what you have touched upon about focusing on skilling and technology, which is very important for us too in healthcare, and we have to learn for that. You told about the IT sector got threatened with this ChatGPT and other things. Probably healthcare is also not far away. Today we see a lot of people, even they try to get into that kind of mode when they need some answer. So your presentation has given a lot of food for our thoughts, and I'm sure that our HR, our organizations, our leadership also will take learnings from there and shape up our future. I think we have couple of minutes left before finishing this session, completing this session. If there is any one or two questions we can take up. Is there any question?
So just as the theme of this event was on leadership, for me leadership is all about building a culture. And in the industry, it's not a top-down culture, it's both a top-down and a bottoms-up culture, which is a midpoint, where leaders are able to exhibit a culture, the right practices and well-being, and create an environment for us to sustain. So I think that's what all leadership is all about. Great team, and thanks for having me over. Thank you.